Hello everyone, good morning. How are you today? Today we are going to discuss about certain questions from the chemical kinetics and surface chemistry chapters. Okay, please tell me whether I am audible to you and my screen is visible to you. Yes. Okay, let's begin with the session. Okay, so here we are going to talk about the questions. Okay, yes. So I'm audible to you and my screen is visible to you. Hello. Okay, let's begin with our session. Okay, so first question here is what? A drop of solution contains 60 into 10 raised to minus 7 mole of H plus. If the rate of disappearance of H plus is this much, how long time will it take for H plus to disappear from the drop? Okay, so here we need to find out how much is the what drop. Okay, the drop solution contains this much amount of H plus. What will be the time needed in order to disappear the H plus from a given drop? So we need to find out time here. So in order to find the time, we know the formula in order to find out the time in chemical kinetics. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to do mathematical calculations. Okay, here you can see I have calculated the H plus ion concentration. Okay, how much solution is there and how much H plus ion is present in that solution? So 60 into 10 raised to minus 7 mole of H plus is present there. Okay, 60 into 10 raised to minus 7 mole is present there. But in how much volume? How much volume is it? 0.05 ml. So I have converted that into liters and I have got the concentration for H plus, that is this much. Now we know the concentration of H plus. Now we can easily find out what will be the rate for which the given drop is what, how long time will it take for H plus to disappear from the drop. So you know rate is what? Change in the concentration of a given species with respect to time. So here I have taken the concentration of H plus. Okay, what was the concentration? So which we have calculated 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 2 molar divided by 6 into 10 raised to 5 meter per second. So this much amount of disappearance rate was there, right? A rate of disappearance which was given in the problem only. So I have put all the values and here I have got the answer, that is 2 into 10 raised to minus 8 seconds. 2 into 10 raised to minus 8 seconds. And what is the option for this? Which option is correct? A, B, C, D. So you can see B option contains the given value 2 into 10 raised to minus 8 seconds. So in this way, this problem was formed, okay, framed, and we need to calculate what, how long time will it take for H plus to disappear from the drop. So इस तरह से मैंने क्या किया है, टाइम निकाला है, रेट की वैल्यू यहाँ पे पुट की है. सो टाइम इज व्हाट, कॉन्सेंट्रेशन डिवाइडेड बाय रेट, कॉन्सेंट्रेशन डिवाइडेड बाय रेट यहाँ पे मैंने किया है और टाइम मैंने यहाँ पे निकाला है. ठीक है, इन एंड आउट इन दिस वेरी सिंपल प्रॉब्लम. Okay, the framing of question is different, but in this way you can solve this given problem. So what is the concentration of H plus in a given solution? So the concentration of H plus divided by total volume, you can get the volume of H plus, concentration of H plus, right? Yeah, let's solve next problem. Here we have given one reaction, N2O5 gives NO2 and O2. If the rate of disappearance of N2O5 with respect to time is K1 of N2O5, Okay, and rate of disappearance of NO2 with respect to time is this much, rate of disappearance of O2 with respect to time with respect to time is this much, then what is the relationship between these three rate constant that we need to calculate? So here we need to calculate the relationship between the rate constant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this thing, okay, all these equations in this way, okay, based on the given equations. As we know, the rate of change of concentration of reactant is equal to the rate of change of concentration of product. So concentration of reactant is equal to concentration of, means जो rate होता है हमारा वो constant होता है दोनों का, ठीक है, product is equal to reactant. So what I have done here is I have written the given rate equation, okay, with their respective what number of moles, with their respective number of moles. So rate of change of concentration of reactant divided by multiplied by its given number of moles is equal to what, rate of change of product is equal to what, rate of change of O2. ठीक है, दो products में दो species थे तो उनका भी मैंने क्या किया, equal लिख लिया. In this way we write our rate equation. Okay, so now I have put all the values of N2 delta N2 O5 by delta T. What was the answer? K1 into O5, which was given. So I have directly put K1 into O5. Half will be as it is, 4 here will be as it is, and here number of moles were only 1, so it will be as it is. So when you divide it by N2O5, now all terms contain N2O5, so they are going to cancel out each other. So K1 by 2 and K2 by 4 and is equal to K3, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this given equation by 4. So what will happen? This 4 will going to cancel. Here it will become 2K1 is equal to K2 is equal to 4K3 because I'm multiplying with what, 4. So can you see this option anywhere? 2K1 is equal to K2 is equal to 4K3. So that is what our option number B. So in this way, I have solved this problem. So very different problem as we have solved so far, but such type of problem can be asked, okay, in the examination. So that's why we have taken these examples also here. Okay, let's move on to the next problem. Here a reaction is given, A plus 2B gives C plus D. Okay, the rate of change of this given reaction has been written, dx by dt is equal to K, concentration of A with respect to concentration of B into concentration of B with respect to what, its number of moles, that is 2. रेस्ट टू में 2 लिख दिया हम लोगों ने, ठीक है. इफ इनिशियल प्रेशर ऑफ ए एंड बी आर रिस्पेक्टिवली 6.60 atm and 0.80 atm at a time when pressure of C is 0.20 atm, the rate of reaction relative to the initial value will be. So here we have, what we have done is we have taken the values of initial pressure, we have given A and B 0.60 and 0.80. When a time at which pressure of C will be 0.20, at that time what will be the rate with respect to the initial value. अगर initial में इतना rate होता है तो जब pressure C का 0.20 atm होता है, that time rate कितना होगा, इस प्रकार का ये problem हम लोगों को पूछा है. So let's see here what is happening. So you can understand from this that the dx by dt, okay, the rate of change of concentration with respect to time, here you can see that A, I have put the value of pressure of A as well as the value of pressure of B. When I put this value, I am getting the rate constant value, that is rate of a given reaction value 0.384 K. Okay, K is what, our rate constant. As you know, the reaction is what, A plus 2B gives C plus D. So in the initial phase, what is happening? The pressures of A and B were this much atms. But as soon as C gets formed and D gets formed, how much change is happening in their pressures? This much pressure is changing, 0.60 minus x, 0.80 minus 2x. Okay, next, if we have given that C is 0.20, so I have taken here x value 0.2. So how much A will be remaining? 0.4. And how much B will be remaining? 0.4. Put all these value here and find out the rate ka value. You are getting 0.064 K. So with respect to this value, this is how much? Okay, with respect to this value, this is how much that we have to calculate. So just do the calculation that 0 will be dividing to the T, क्योंकि यहाँ पे बोला है rate of reaction relative to the initial value. So जब 0.20 atm is pressure given, at that time, what will be the rate एंड हाउ मच रिलेटिव विद इट्स इनिशियल वैल्यू. सो हम लोगों को जो टाइम दिया है वो उसके नीचे हम लोगों को जो इनिशियल था, इनिशियल फाइनल डिवाइडेड बाय इनिशियल करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, फाइनल रेट डिवाइडेड बाय इनिशियल रेट करेंगे, उनका रेशियो निकालो. द रेशियो यू आर गेटिंग 0.064 k divided by 0.384 k. You are getting the value 1/6. Right? You are getting the value 1/6. So that's why here answer will be what? Option A. See, very good question this is. Right? For a given reaction, A plus 2B gives C plus D. So dx by dt. The question में ही हम लोगों को रेट और वो सब दे दिया था. Concentrations, initial concentrations were given. When C's concentration will be 0.20. Not concentration, sorry, pressure were already given to us. If pressure of C will become 0.20, how much will be the rate? So we have calculated the rate, and this rate will be with how much relative to the initial rate. So initial rate 0.384 tha, we have taken 0.064, we have calculated this. So by doing a simple ratio calculation, you are getting 1/6. Okay, answer A is our correct answer here. Any doubt in this? Okay, let's move on to the next problem. In the complex reaction, so here a complex reaction is given, N2 plus 3H2 2NH3. Okay, you know this reaction. This is which type of reaction? This is, yes, this is which type of reaction? Yeah, can you tell me this is which type of reaction? This is Haber's process, right? This is what? Haber's process. So in this simple reaction, you can see dx by dt. Okay, you can see the rate is given. What is the rate given here? Can you tell me? Dx by dt is equal to 1 into 10 raised to 2 molarity raised to 3 N2 H2 raised to 3. Minus sign is there. 1 into 10 raised to minus 3 molarity raised to minus 1 NH3 twice. Okay, this is the rate equation given, rate of a given reaction. Okay, if this value is equal to 10 raised to minus 5, what will be the dx by dt? So we just need to rearrange this given rate of equation. Okay, here you can see in this reaction, N2 plus 3H2 gives 2 NH3. This reaction is what? Reversible. This is what? Reversible reaction. So for reversible reaction, what I can do is I can calculate the forward rate minus I can do the backward rate. Okay, when you do this na, kf N2 H2, that is what? Concentrations of reactant. Okay, H2 ke how many moles? 3 moles were there. That's why I have written 3 at the what we can say that at the power of given concentration of H2. Okay, for NH3 again 2 moles. That's why at the power I have written 2. Okay, you know that what is the rate constant for this given reaction? NH3 twice divided by N2 H2 thrice. That is what? Forward rate divided by backward rate. Okay, and or you can say that the backward rate divided by forward rate will be equal to what? 1 into 10 raised to minus 3 divided by 1 into 10 raised to 2, and that is what? 1 into 10 raised to minus 5. So ये कैसे आया? I have written that with respect to this given value. Okay, ये जो हम लोगों को प्रॉब्लम में दिया था ना वैल्यू, यहाँ पे 10 raised to minus 5 भी दिया हुआ है. So that is what? That value. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to put 1 into 10 raised to 2 into 10 raised to minus 5 value यहाँ पे. ठीक है, N2 H2 के यहाँ पे आप क्या लिखोगे? 10 raised to minus 5 NH3 square minus 1 into 10 raised to minus 3 NH3 square. So मैंने क्या किया? दोनों साइड में NH3 कॉमन रख दिया. मतलब क्या होगा? We can calculate it very easily. Okay, when you see here 10 raised to minus 3, 10 raised to minus 5 and 10 raised to 2. So overall you are going to get the value which is going to cancel out this value, and the rate will be what? 0. Okay, the rate will be what? 0. So the rate of reaction for this given reaction will be what? 0. So your answer you are getting is 0 here. Right? Okay. Do you understand this? Any doubts? Okay, let's move on to the next problem. Here the reaction is given NOO2 twice NO2 is a first order reaction. If volume of the reaction vessel is reduced to 1/3, the rate of reaction would be. So here a very simple problem. Reaction was given. It is a first order reaction. If the volume of the reaction vessel reduced to 1/3, if volume be reduced, what will happen to the rate of reaction? So volume reduced हो गया है, तो rate क्या होगा? Reaction का बढ़ेगा या कम होगा? So see, in this reaction, when volume of vessel changes into 1/3, then concentration of reactant becomes 3 times. क्योंकि volume क्या हुआ? Decrease हो गया. Volume decrease हो गया तो concentration जो हमारा reactant का था वो उतना ही था, लेकिन volume क्या हो गया? कम हो गया. So that's why in the lesser volume, what is happening? The concentration of reactant will become more. and how much more? 3 times. Okay, so that's why, since concentration has been become more, so the rate of reaction for first order reaction, as it is directly proportional to concentration, it is again going to increase by 3 times. So here what will be the answer? Here our answer will be what? C. Right? Since volume has been decreased, volume decrease, concentration increase. How much volume has been decreased? 1 by 3. So 3 times concentration is going to decrease. And you know, rate is directly proportional to concentration. If concentration is increasing by 3 times, then rate is also going to increase by 3 times, since they are directly related to each other. Yes, any doubts? Okay, let's move on to the next problem. At a certain temperature, the first order rate constant K1 is found to be smaller than the second order rate constant K2. If the energy of activation E1 of the first order reaction is greater than the energy of activation E2 of the second order reaction, then the increase in temperature will result in 2. So 4 options were given. K1 will increase faster than K2, but always will remain less than K2. K2 will increase faster than K1. K1 will increase faster than K2 and becomes equal to K2, and K1 will increase faster than K2 and becomes greater than K2. So this is a lengthier problem, but this is very easy. See, what we need to consider here is that we know the relationship between the rate constant and energy of activation. Okay, so what is the relation between them? So you can see here the change in the rate constant with respect to time, that is rate of a given reaction, is equal to EA, that is energy of activation divided by RT square. So as the energy of activation increases, what is happening? Rate constant K is also going to increase, because they are what? Directly related, right? So here increase in K1 will going to increase the reaction. Okay, will going to increase the reaction फास्टर. ओके, इस वजह से K1 की वैल्यू अगर इंक्रीज हो गई तो रिएक्शन क्या हो जाएगी? हमारी फास्ट हो जाएगी देन K2, बट ऑलवेज विल रिमेन लेस देन K2. सो यहाँ पे व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू टेल इज K1 विल इंक्रीज फास्टर देन K2. K1 का जो वैल्यू है उसकी जो इंक्रीज होने वाली है वो दैट इज गोइंग टू बी फास्टर देन K2, बट the value, whatever value you are going to get, it will always remain less than the K2 value. Why that is happening? Because what is given in our problem, K1 is found to be smaller than the second order rate constant. Okay, first order rate constant is K1 is found to be smaller than the second order rate constant K2. If energy of activation E1 of the first order reaction is greater than the energy of activation E2 of the second order reaction, then increase in temperature. So increase in temperature, what is going to happen in the increase in temperature? K1 will become faster, but its value will be always less than K2. Why? Because of this given relation, right? So option A will be correct answer here. Any doubt in this? Let's move on to the next problem. The rate law for a reaction. So यहाँ पे reaction दिया हुआ है, उसका rate law आप लोगों को दिया हुआ है. Between the substances A and B is like this way, A raised to N, B raised to M. Okay, on doubling the concentration of A and halving the concentration of B. So if A is becoming 2A and B is becoming B by 2, okay, half of B. The ratio of the new rate to the earlier rate of the reaction will be. So earlier, what was the rate? Rate was what? K, the rate constant of ours, and A raised to M, N, sorry, and B raised to M. Okay, A raised to N and B raised to M. This was our rate. Now, since the A value is doubled and B value has been half, what will be the rate of this given reaction when these are the values, right? So here, what do you think? What will be the value? 1/2 raised to this or this or this. Okay, so let's solve this question. So here rate becomes X raised to Y times if concentration now is made X times of reactant giving Y order reaction. So यहाँ पे हमारी order क्या दी हुई है reactions की? N और M दिया हुआ है. So concentration of A will get doubled. Hence X is equal to 2 and Y is equal to N. So that way rate will become how much? 2 raised to N, क्योंकि X raised to Y हो रहा है ना. X क्या है? कितना टाइम? 2 times हो रहा है. कौन सी reaction के लिए? Nth order reaction के लिए. Right? We don't know here order. Concentration of B is becoming half. Hence X का value हो जाएगा half. How much ordered reaction? M order reaction. So what we are going to do is we are going to put both these value 2 raised to N and 1/2 raised to M. So when you do the calculations now, 2 raised to N multiply by 1/2 raised to M. So do this calculation. What you are going to do? 2 raised to n into 2 raised to minus m. So since base is same, what you are going to write? 2 raised to n minus m. And that is what? Option D. Very simple. And good question actually. Okay. Do you understand this? Okay, let's move on to the next problem now. Okay, the rate constant for this given reaction is this much, 2.3 into 10 raised to minus 2, which the equation given below describes the change of N2O5 with time. N2O5 initial means that is 0, and N2O5 at a time t, that is t here written, corresponds to the concentration of initially and at time t. तो यहाँ पे वो भी अपने को explain करके दिया हुआ है. ABCD में से कौन सा option correct होगा वो हम लोगों को find out करना है. So as we know from the rate constant value, what is the rate constant value? It is what? Per second. In the problem, it is given what? It is what? Per second. So means what? From the unit of rate constant, you can say that this reaction is what? First order reaction. This is what? First order reaction. So if the reaction is first order reaction, you know the value for K, equation 1 by T log of E initial divided by how much it is remaining, right? So initial लिख लीजिए N2O5 initial, or how much is remaining? N2O5 times T. ठीक है, तो when you rearrange this equation ना, KT is equal to log E N2O5 initial divided by N2O5 at time T. When you rearrange this equation ना, what you are going to get is you are going to get the answer D. ठीक है, मैंने क्या किया? सिर्फ ln लिख लिया है, N2O5 divided by N2O5. यहाँ पे log E is nothing but what? Natural log, that is ln. Right? So here option D is correct answer. From the unit, see, from which value we have calculated this? From the unit of rate constant. It is clear that reaction is first order reaction. We simply know the rate constant equation for first order reaction. Just put all these values. You are good to know about the answer. Let's move on to the next problem. For a zero order reaction, the rate constant is equal to this much for the disappearance of A. What will be the concentration of A after 15 seconds if the initial concentration is 0.50 molar? So here zero order reaction is there. We need to find out the initial concentration. Okay, we need to find out, sorry, concentration of A after 15 seconds. हम लोगों को A का concentration निकालना है 15 seconds के बाद. Time दिया हुआ है. ठीक है, रेट कांस्टेंट दिया हुआ है, इनिशियल कॉन्सेंट्रेशन कितना है? 0.50 है. सो यू कैन सी हियर dx by dt is equal to what? K. That is a rate constant which is equal to 0.025 meter per second. Right? So x by t. Okay, x by t is equal to K is equal to 0.025 meter per second. So x ka value you can put, what is that? K into T. So K is what? 0.025. T is what? 15 seconds. When you do this calculation, you are getting the answer 0.375. So this is what X amount. X amount means this much amount has been consumed or disappeared. Okay. So how much is remaining? What will be the concentration of A after? Now, what will be the remaining value that we need to calculate? So initially it was 0.5. From that 0.375 has been formed. Okay. Or disappeared. So how much is remaining? Remaining is this much. Right, remaining is this much, that is 0.125 molar. So our answer will be option B. Yes, answer will be option B. Any doubt in this? Very simple problem, zero order reaction. The equation is what? X by T is equal to K. Next, T 1/4 can be taken as the time taken for the concentration of reactant to drop 3/4 of its initial value. Yes. If the rate constant for first order reaction is K, then T 1/4 can be written as. So if we need to find out here relation with first order rate constant and the time T 1/4 of a given reaction. Okay. So here you can see for a reaction, for a given reaction, what I have done here is if reactant A is our reactant molecule, which is getting converting into product. So initially, if what is happening? A amount is there. So how much product will be there? 0. After time T, A minus X has been, since X has been formed, so how much is remaining? Remaining is A minus X. If T 1/4 time has been happened and A by 4th amount of product has been formed, so what will be the remaining? A minus A by 4. Right? So for the first order kinetics, what we are going to do is we are going to put this A minus X value as A minus A by 4. So when you put that value, you will get 4A minus A divided by 4. So 4A minus A, what will be that? 3A by 4. So just that I have put here 3a by 4. So a get cancelled. It will be what? 4 by 3. So 2.303 log of 4 by 3 divided by k क्यों लिखा मैंने यहाँ पे? क्योंकि t1/4 मुझे कैलकुलेट करना है. What will be its relation? So here by putting the log of 4 by 3 value, you can get whatever the value is and multiplied by 2.303, you are getting 0.29 the answer divided by k. So the relation between t half and the rate constant k is what? 0.29 divided by k. That is option C. See, t1/4 was given. So t1/4 means what? If a by 4 is going to form product, okay? Because at time t, if x is getting formed, then at 1 by 4 time, a by 4 is going to form, right? Yeah, let's move on to the next problem. The rate constant k varies with the temperature given by the equation. Yeah, here consider the equation. Pre-exponential factor for this is 10 raised to 5. EA is this much. Variation of log k with 1 by t is linear. Then select the correct statement. 1, 2, 3. करेक्ट कौन कौन से है इसमें से? 1, 2, 3 है, 2 और 3 है, 1 and 3 है, 1 and 2 है. So here we have given the equation. From this equation we have done certain statements, and which statements are true. Okay, which statements are true? So pre-exponential factor here is 10 raised to 5. E is 9.212 kilocalorie. Variation of k log k with 1 by t will be linear. So here you can see I have written the equation. So log k is equal to log a minus ea by 2.303. This is our equation. Okay, this is our main equation. So here in this equation you can see a का value कितना हो रहा है? 5. The value for a, log a is what? 5. So when you find out the value for a, na, log a is 5, then value of a will be what? 10 raised to 5, which is true, which is given in the statement. Okay, pre-exponential factor a का value क्या होगा? 10 raised to 5, which is true. Okay, so this is true statement. Next statement, EA by 2.303 R is equal to 2000. So just to do this calculation, you will find out EA value, that is 9.212 kilocalorie, and which is again true. This is true. This is true. Third is what? Variation of log k with 1 by t is linear. So this equation represents straight line, and we know that it is what? Linear graph. Okay, so this is again true. So our option 1, 2, 3 are what? Correct. Means what? Option A. All the 3 statements are correct. So in which option all the 3 statements are present? Option A. Okay, next problem. For a chemical reaction, A gives product. It is found that the rate increases by a factor 6.25 when the concentration of A is increased by a factor of 2.5. The order of reaction with respect to A. So here we need to find out the order. Okay, so what will be the order with respect to A? So consider here the answer. Rate is equal to what? K raised to A raised to M. K into A raised to M. So यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो रेट का वैल्यू मैंने यहाँ पे पुट किया है. Rate for this given reaction will be K, rate constant, into A raised to M, because in the reactant side only A is there and I don't know the order. That's why I have written M. Okay, so it is found that the rate increases by this much factor. So rate constant का हमारा जो इस इक्वेशन का रेट है वो कितने से बढ़ रहा है? 6.25 से रेट बढ़ रहा है. When the concentration of A is increased by, A का वैल्यू A से कितना हो रहा है? 2.5 A हो रहा है. From A it is becoming 2.5 A. So I have put in that value. Okay, so here 6.25 R is equal to K 2.5 A raised to M. So what I have done is R और हमारा जो K और A था वो सारे कांस्टेंट जो थे उनको मैंने निकाल के इस तरह से इक्वेशन लिख लिया. 6.25 is equal to 2.5 raised to M. On the other hand, what we can write is 6.25 is how much of 2.5 raised to M? So 2.5 raised to 2 is there and 2.5 raised to M. So when we solve this, you can find that M is equal to 2. So what is M? M was what? Order of reaction with respect to A. So that is how much? It is equal to 2. So our option A is the correct answer here. Calculation was simple. Okay, 6.25 is nothing but 2.5 square. Okay, 2.5 square it is. So that's why M will be equal to what? 2. Yeah, next equation. A reactant X forms 2 product. X gives Y, X gives Z. Activation energy is given for both the reaction EA1, EA2, and rate constant are also given for a reaction K1 and K2. If the relationship between energy of activation of second reaction is equal to twice of what? Energy of activation of first reaction. then what will be K1 and K2 related to? So how they are related to each other, that we need to find out. Okay, so as you know, energy of activation is what related to rate constant in this given equation. K is directly proportional to e raised to minus EA by RT. This is which type of equation? Arrhenius equation. Very, very important. Please remember this equation. Okay, so K is equal to A raised to minus EA by RT, where A is what our pre-exponential factor. Okay, I have written that I have removed the proportionality constant by A term, which is A is what? Arrhenius constant. So just putting K1, K1 is equal to A EA1 by RT minus EA1 by RT, and K2 is equal to what? AE minus EA2 by RT. As you know, EA2 is nothing but 2 EA1. So EA2 की जगह पे मैंने वैल्यू पुट कर दिया 2 EA1. Okay, right? So rate constant is equal to K1, rate constant is K2. If this is the case, EA2 is equal to 2 EA1. So EA2 की जगह पे मैंने minus 2 EA1 लिख दिया. So what will happen here? AE minus EA1 by RT. 2 EA को मैंने क्या कर लिया? Minus EA1 by RT into minus EA1 by RT. 2 EA को मैंने दो बार लिख लिया इस तरह से. Okay, and what is this? Minus EA1 by RT, this is K1. And what is this? This is the term here. Okay, so how K2 and K1 are related to each other? K2 is equal to K1 e raised to minus EA by RT. क्योंकि just simply लिखा है हम लोगों ने और लिखते वक्त हम लोगों को ये रिलेशन पता चला है यहाँ. K2 will be equal to K1 e raised to minus EA by RT. And what is that option? Option number B. Right? Option number कितना है? EA2 है नहीं, B नहीं होगा, EA1 या. Option number C, K2 is equal to K1 e raised to minus EA by EA1 by RT. यहाँ पे 1 होगा. Okay, is that correct? Any doubt in this? Yes, any doubts in this? Is it correct? Okay, do you understand this? Doubts? Anyone? Okay, let's move on to the next problem. Yeah. For a first order reaction, the plot of log K against 1 by T is a straight line. The slope of the line is equal to. So this is very simple problem. For first order reaction, we know the plot. What is that? Log K by 1 by T. You can see the plot. Log K by 1 by T. You are getting the graph like this way. The slope for this graph is what? A upon 2.303 R, because our equation is like this way. So the slope of the line will be equal to what? B. ठीक है, E अपॉन 2.303. यहाँ पे आप माइनस भी लिख सकते हो, नहीं तो यहाँ पे नेचर आप देख रहे हो डिक्रीजिंग ही है, तो स्लोप क्या होगा? यहाँ पे माइनस में ही आंसर आएगा स्लोप का. राइट, माइनस E अपॉन 2.303 R. राइट, एनी डाउट्स? सिंपल प्रॉब्लम, सिंपल इक्वेशन. ट्राई टू रिमेम्बर दिस. ओके, नेक्स्ट, फॉर अ हाफ लाइफ ऑफ अ रिएक्शन, दिस रिएक्शन इज देयर, वी हैव गिवन half life, that is what? 2.4 hours. Okay, half life is given, that is what? 2.4 hours. Starting with 10.8 gram of N2O5, how much oxygen will be obtained after the period of this much hours? Okay, अगर 10.8 ग्राम हम लोगों के पास है और 9.6 hours पास्ट हो गए हैं, तो कितना हमारे पास ऑक्सीजन बचा हुआ होगा? Okay, so here you can see the reaction. N2O5 is giving twice of NO plus half O2. Just the reaction जो given था वो इस वैसे के वैसे we have written. Okay, moles of N2O5 कितने हैं reaction में? 10.8 gram. उसका molecular weight है 108. So how many moles are present? 0.1 moles of N2O5 are present. How many moles? 0.1 mole of N2O5 is present. Number of half lives. If we need to pass out how many hours? 9.6 hours. So how many? 2.4 was its half life period. If we want to pass out 9.6 hours, how much will be the half lives we need to pass? 4 half lives we need to pass. So the number of moles of a given molecule at time t will be what? 0.1. Okay, moles into 1 by 2 raised to n. So n का वैल्यू क्या है? 4 है, तो कैलकुलेट कीजिए, आपको वैल्यू मिल जाएगा what? 0.1 by 16. So this much amount are left. This much amount are left. इनिशियली कितना था? 0.1 था, उसमें से इतना लेफ्ट हो गया, मतलब इतना डिसअपियर हो गया. ठीक है, इतना हमारा चेंज हो गया प्रोडक्ट में, चेंज टू प्रोडक्ट हो गया. तो मतलब इतना अगर लेफ्ट था, लेफ्ट में वाज रिमेनिंग. ओके, इतना अगर रिमेनिंग था तो कितना प्रोडक्ट में फॉर्म हुआ है? इतना प्रोडक्ट में फॉर्म हुआ है. दिस मच हैज बीन फॉर्म एज अ प्रोडक्ट. ठीक है, सो 1.5 by 16 इतना प्रोडक्ट फॉर्म हुआ है. ठीक है, तो वो प्रोडक्ट में क्या है, ऑक्सीजन भी प्रेजेंट है, कितना ऑक्सीजन प्रेजेंट है, लेकिन हाफ प्रेजेंट है। सो डिवाइड कर दिया मैंने 1.5 बाय 16 को हाफ से, ओके, और मल्टीप्लाई करो उसको वॉल्यूम, हमारा वॉल्यूम से मल्टीप्लाई कीजिए, वॉल्यूम क्या होता है हमारा 1 मोल का 22.4, राइट, लीटर। सो जस्ट डू दिस कैलकुलेशन, यू विल गेट आंसर 1.05 लीटर, दैट इज ऑप्शन सी। यस, दिस वाज डिफरेंट प्रॉब्लम, ओके, these are different problems, these were not usual problems, okay, ये थोड़े अलग तरह के problems मैंने लिए थे आज। hope you have understand this, okay, now let's talk about the surface chemistry, okay. So here I have taken the first question for surface chemistry, that is a plot of when we plot a graph of log of x by m against log p, it is a straight line inclined at angle 45 degree. When the pressure is 0.5 atm and Freundlich parameter k is 10, the amount of solute absorbed per gram of absorbent will be. So here you can see Freundlich adsorption isotherm, the equation is what, x by m kp raised to 1 by n. This is our equation, adsorption isotherm ka equation. Now what I have done is I have simplified this given equation by taking log to the both sides. So log of x by m log k plus 1 by n log b, ठीक है, 1 by n आगे ले लिया, log p उसके बाद में लिख लिया. So what I have done here again is k ka value is what, 10, which was given in the problem. So I have taken k ka value 10, p ka value was given in the problem 0.5, I have taken 0.5. Okay, since slope is what, slope for a given curve is what, it is what, tan 45 है, 45 डिग्री में हो रहा है, एंगल इंक्लाइन हो रहा है, तो वो वैल्यू क्या हो जाता है, 1 हो जाता है, क्योंकि tan 45 जब हम कैलकुलेशन करते हैं स्लोप का, सो दैट इज व्हाट tan थीटा, थीटा वैल्यू इज 45 डिग्री, सो द वैल्यू फॉर tan 45 इज 1, राइट, सो दैट इज व्हाट आवर वैल्यू फॉर स्लोप. So what I have done here, log 10 is what, 1, you know that it is what, 1. n का वैल्यू कितना मिल गया हम लोगों को, 1 मिल गया है, जिसकी वैल्यू हम लोग स्लोप से निकालते हैं, 1 by n की वैल्यू हम लोग किससे निकालते हैं, स्लोप से. सो n यहाँ पे आ गया 1. तो मैंने क्या किया कि ये जो यहाँ पे 1 था, इसको यहाँ पे मैंने ट्रांसफर कर दिया, log of x by m minus 1 plus 1 log of this 0.5, 5 into 10 raised to minus 1. ठीक है, यहाँ पे देखिए इस तरह से इक्वल टू साइन यहाँ पे गायब हो गया था, तो यहाँ पे इक्वल टू आएगा ये 1 प्लस ये 1 by 1 log ऑफ 0.5 को मैंने लिख लिया 5 into 10 raised to minus 1 फॉर माई सिंप्लीफिकेशन. सो 1 हो गया, ये 1 into 1 by 1 1 होगा, इंटू लॉग, वो लॉग ही आ जाएगा. सो लॉग ऑफ 5 कितना होता है, 0.6990, माइनस मैंने क्या किया 1, कैलकुलेशन किया, 1 1 कैंसिल हो गया, कितना बचा मेरे पास 0.6990. सो वी नीड टू फाइंड आउट x by m, सो आई हैव ट्रांसफर्ड log टू this side. When we transfer log to this side, it becomes antilog. So antilog of this term is going to give you this value, x by m is equal to 5. Okay, so how much amount of solute will get absorbed per gram of adsorbent? 5 grams. Okay, how much amount is going to absorb per adsorbent is 5 grams. Yeah, let's move on to the next problem. On adding 1 ml of 10% NaCl to 10 ml of gold sol in presence of starch, the coagulation is just prevented. The gold number of starch. So here gold number is what? The number of milligrams of hydrophilic colloid that will just prevent the coagulation of 10 ml of gold sol on addition of 1 ml of 10% NaCl. Okay, so gold number यहाँ पे कितना आएगा, NaCl 10% दिया हुआ है, और हमारा जो सोल्यूशन है उसके ग्राम्स कितने, 0.25. सो जस्ट मल्टीप्लाई द नंबर ऑफ ग्राम्स ऑफ अ गिवन स्टार्च multiplied by percent of NaCl, you are going to get 250. Okay, the density of gold for a given is what, the number of gold particles present in the given soul. So यहाँ पे फिर से हमको सोल का क्वेश्चन दिया हुआ है, गोल्ड नंबर से हम लोगों को निकालना है. So here volume of gold disappears in 1 liter of water is what, volume is nothing but mass upon density, because density is equal to what, mass upon volume. So I can calculate volume will be equal to what, mass upon density. So mass was given in the problem, density was given in the problem, you are getting what, volume. Radius of gold soles is given, that is what, 10 nanometer. यहाँ पे दिया है देखो radius 10 nanometer. So I have put that nanometer को I have converted into centimeter because volume was centimeter. So I have converted the radius also to centimeter. Any particles, the volume is what, 4/3 pi r cube. Pi का वैल्यू आपको पता है, r का वैल्यू आपने अभी डिटरमाइन किया, r का रेडियस का वैल्यू जो दिया था नैनोमीटर में इन प्रॉब्लम, बट आई हैव कन्वर्टेड इनटू सेंटीमीटर. Just by doing this calculation, you are getting the volume. So number of gold salt particles in this will be this much, and number of gold salt particles in 1 mm cube will be what? Divided by 10 raised to 6. You will get in 1 mm cube. So ये extra question हो गया. Okay, mm cube में हम लोगों को यहाँ पे पूछा था आंसर. That's why I have written that in this form. Otherwise, this much step 2.38 into 10 raised to 12. इतने तक भी पूछा जा सकता है. ठीक है. So here answer will be what? 2.38 into 10 raised to 6. That is what? Option D. Okay, option D will be the answer. This was a hard question actually. Okay, sometimes such type of question can be asked. The probability is lesser actually, but I have taken the whatever questions were available so far asked. So that's why I have taken this question here. Okay, any doubts in this? Let's move on to the next problem. Yeah, this is very good problem actually. Homogeneous catalytic reaction. There are 3 alternative paths A, B, and C. So this is the reaction coordinate and potential energy. Which one among the following option indicates the relative ease with which reaction can take place? So with the help of which reaction coordinate, the homogeneous catalytic reaction, 3 alternative paths were given. इनमें से कौन सा ऑप्शन इंडिकेट करता है कि रिलेटिव ईज जो है रिएक्शन होने का वो हो सकता है. ठीक है. सो ऑर्डर ऑफ एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी इज गिवन हियर. ओके, दिस इज व्हाट ऑर्डर ऑफ एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी A, B, C. So as you can see, the order of activation energy for C is less than B than A. So ज्यादा से ज्यादा एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी किसके पास है? A के पास है. तो कैटलिस्ट क्या करेगा? कैटलिस्ट इंक्रीजेस द रेट ऑफ रिएक्शन बाय डिक्रीजिंग एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी. ठीक है. तो एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी किसकी कम है? C की कम है, उसके बाद B की कम है. ठीक है, C की कम है, उसके बाद B की ज्यादा है, उसके बाद A की बहुत ज्यादा है एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी. सो जितनी ज्यादा एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी उतना क्या हो जाएगा? रेट स्लो. रेट ऑफ रिएक्शन विल बी स्लो. सो कौन सी रिएक्शन पहले हो सकती है? पहले C होगा, बाद में B होगा, बाद में A होगा. सो दिस वाज अ वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन, very very important question actually, and the asking of the question was different. Here catalytic activity was given. Catalyst क्या करता है? Catalyst increases the rate of reaction by decreasing the energy of activation value. Okay, so if energy of activation value decreases, catalyst is doing this given thing, और catalyst होने के कारण energy of activation कम होने के कारण हमारी जो reaction है वो क्या होती है? जल्दी हो जाती है. Okay, that's why the reaction is C का ज्यादा होगा, बाद में B का और बाद में A का. Okay, let's move on to the next problem. Adsorption is accompanied by the evolution of heat. So according to Le-Chatelier principle, the amount of substance adsorbed with temperature will be. So as we know, as the temperature increases during the adsorption process, what happens? A given reaction takes place. What process is what? Exothermic. Adsorption process क्या है हमारी? Exothermic. Physical adsorption जब होता है तब low temperature होता है. And the physical adsorption go on decreases as we increase the temperature. So according to Le-Chatelier principle, for exothermic process favors in a backward reaction. Thus adsorption is going to decrease with increase in temperature. So जैसे जैसे हमारा temperature increase होगा, adsorption क्या होगा हमारा? Decrease होगा. So in other words, adsorption increases with a decrease in temperature. So here, what do we want? The amount of substance adsorbed with temperature as increase with decrease in temperature, increases with increase in temperature, decreases with decrease in temperature, none of the above. So here, what will be our answer? Answer will be A. So amount of substance absorbed with temperature increases as temperature decreases, और decreases as temperature increases. So एक ही ऑप्शन हमारा यहाँ पे करेक्ट था, इसलिए ऑप्शन ए हमारा आंसर हो गया. नेक्स्ट, फॉर द फॉलोइंग reaction, which of the following is not affected by the addition of catalyst? Rate of forward reaction, rate of backward reaction, time required to reach the equilibrium, and spontaneity. So कौन सा हमारा catalyst से effect नहीं होगा? ठीक है. So you know catalyst doesn't affect both forward as well as backward reaction. Okay, the reaction takes place in a same extent. Okay, in a reversible reaction as well as in a forward reaction. So it only helps to achieve the equilibrium. ठीक है. कैटलिस्ट जो है हमारा किसी भी प्रकार का फॉरवर्ड रिएक्शन पे भी नहीं अफेक्ट करता है, बैकवर्ड रिएक्शन पे भी नहीं अफेक्ट करता है. इट जस्ट व्हाट इट डज, इट जस्ट रीचेस द इक्विलिब्रियम. ठीक है, अचीवमेंट जो होता है हमारा इक्विलिब्रियम का वो जल्दी हो जाता है और जल्दी से जल्द रिएक्शन हो जाती है. सो वो किस पे नहीं अफेक्ट करता? दस इट डज नॉट अफेक्ट एनी ऑफ द स्पॉन्टेनिटी ऑफ अ रिएक्शन. सो स्पॉन्टेनिटी जो है ऑप्शन डी विल बी अवर करेक्ट आंसर. ओके, सो वो क्या करता है? कैटलिस्ट affects both forward as well as backward reaction, as well as it affects the time required to reach the equilibrium, but it doesn't affect the spontaneity of a given reaction. तो A, B, C ये तीनों को वो affect करता है, spontaneity को वो affect नहीं करता. Is that clear to everyone? Okay, let's move on to the next problem. Which among the following statements are correct with respect to adsorption of gases on a solid? So हम लोगों को चार ऑप्शन दिए हुए हैं, Langmuir adsorption और Freundlich adsorption isotherm हम लोगों ने ऑलरेडी पढ़े हुए हैं. So the extent of adsorption is equal to Kp raised to n according to Freundlich. जब हमारा adsorption होता है gases का on the solid surface, okay, when gases are getting adsorbed on surface of solid, okay, this is a solid surface, उसके ऊपर गैस मॉलिक्यूल क्या हो रहे हैं हमारे एडजॉर्ब हो रहे हैं. सो विच इज करेक्ट? इक्वल टू Kp raised to n, इक्वल टू Kp raised to 1 by n, इक्वल टू 1 plus Bp by Ap, Ap plus 1 plus Bp, Ap upon 1 plus Bp. So इनमें से Freundlich और Langmuir adsorption, if we know the definition ना, we can easily find out the extent of adsorption. Okay, so you know extent of adsorption is equal to what? Kp raised to 1 by n for Freundlich adsorption isotherm, right? This is our equation. The amount of gas adsorbed does not increase as rapidly as the pressure. So the extent of adsorption, that is Langmuir adsorption, is Ap upon 1 plus Bp. So here K, A, B are constant and P is what? Pressure. So which of the following options statements are correct with respect to adsorption of solid? So extent of adsorption will be equal to Ap upon 1 plus Bp. This is our correct answer according to Langmuir adsorption isotherm. ठीक है, Ap upon 1 plus Bp and Kp raised to 1 by n. ये भी हमारा करेक्ट ऑप्शन है. ठीक है, Freundlich adsorption isotherm. Okay, any doubts? हमारा ये डेफिनेशन सी थी. ठीक है, सिर्फ क्वेश्चन आस्किंग मेथड वाज डिफरेंट. नेक्स्ट, व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग फैक्टर्स आर रिस्पांसिबल फॉर इंक्रीज इन रेट ऑफ सरफेस कैटलिस्ट रिएक्शन? सो सरफेस कैटलिस्ट रिएक्शन के लिए रेट का इंक्रीज होना किस पे डिपेंड होता है? Catalyst provides proper orientation. Heat of adsorption of reactants on catalyst help reactant molecules to overcome activation energy. Catalyst increases the activation energy of the reaction, and adsorption increases the local concentration of reactant molecules on the surface of the catalyst. Select the codes. Okay, 4 स्टेटमेंट दिए हुए हैं, उनमें से कौन कौन से स्टेटमेंट ट्रू है? आपको पता है कैटलिस्ट क्या करता है? अच्छा रेट उसकी वजह से इंक्रीज होता है. रेट इंक्रीज होने के कारण रिएक्शन जल्दी से हो जाता है. तो कैटलिस्ट प्रोवाइड्स अ प्रॉपर ओरिएंटेशन फॉर अ मॉलिक्यूल टू रिएक्ट. Secondly, this is a true statement. Secondly, heat of adsorption of reactant on a catalyst helps the reactant molecules to overcome. This is again true. Okay. Next, this is not true. Activation energy increase नहीं करता ना catalyst, वो क्या करता है? Decrease करता है. So this is not true. Not true. And this is true. So 1, 2 and 4 statements are true. That is option C is correct. Okay. Yeah. Which of the following reaction is example of auto catalyst? So यहाँ पे auto catalyst की reaction कौन सी है? A, B, C, D. Auto catalyst में मतलब क्या? One of the reactant molecule will behave as a catalyst. That is known as a auto catalysis reaction. So the reactions which are catalyzed by one of the product form are called auto catalysis reaction. So यहाँ पे हमारी जो first reaction है A reaction, यहाँ पे one of the product form है, वो क्या करता है? एज ए कैटलिस्ट जैसे बिहेव करने लगता है और उसके वजह से हमारी रिएक्शन फास्टर होने लगती है. सो हमारा ऑप्शन ए जो ये जो रिएक्शन है यहाँ पे ऑटो कैटलिस्ट जैसे ये रिएक्शन हो रही है. सो ऑप्शन ए इज अवर करेक्ट आंसर. नेक्स्ट, दिस इज अ ग्राफ गिवन. Okay, log of x by m and log p is a straight line at an angle 45 degree with intercept QA. Okay, with intercept OA, sorry, not QA, OA as shown. Okay, hence x by m at a pressure 0.2 atm will be. ओके यहाँ पे हम लोगों को अच्छा प्रॉब्लम पूछा है. लॉग ऑफ एक्स बाय एम लॉग पी ये हम लोगों को दिया हुआ है. 45 एंगल है. सो व्हाट विल बी द वैल्यू ऑफ एक्स बाय एम? सो यहाँ पे वी नो द इक्वेशन लॉग ऑफ एक्स बाय एम ओके इज इक्वल टू लॉग के 1 बाय एन लॉग पी. फ्रॉम दिस इक्वेशन वी नो द ग्राफ इक्वेशन mx प्लस सी. m का वैल्यू कितना है हमारा? 1 बाय एन, दैट इज स्लोप. एंड c 1 बाय एन क्या है? 45, दैट इज tan 45, that is 1. एंड k का वैल्यू हम लोगों को दिया हुआ है यहाँ पे देखिए 0.3010. सो फ्रॉम दैट log k का वैल्यू दिया है, वी कैन फाइंड आउट k का वैल्यू दैट इज 2. सो पुट ऑल दोस वैल्यू इन दिस इक्वेशन. फर्स्ट इक्वेशन में वैल्यू पुट कीजिए. log ऑफ x बाय m इज इक्वल टू k का वैल्यू है 2, 1 बाय n का वैल्यू है 1, log p का वैल्यू कितना है हम लोगों को दिया हुआ है? प्रेशर इज व्हाट? 0.2 atm. सो पुट ऑल दिस वैल्यू, यू आर गेटिंग दिस इक्वेशन, इक्वेशन 2. Solve this equation, log 2 plus log of 0.2, you are getting log 0.4. Okay. After solving this equation, you are getting x by m is equal to 0.4. That is option B. Any doubts? Let's move on to the next problem. If a freshly form PPT of SnO2 is peptized by a small amount of NaOH. These colloidal particles may be represented as. तो यहाँ पे मैंने क्या किया, PPT कौन सी फॉर्म होगी SnO2 की जो मिल रही है, अगर उसके साथ हम लोगों ने NaOH ऐड किया तो कोलाइडल पार्टिकल जो फॉर्म होने वाले दैट विल बी हैविंग विच टाइप ऑफ नेचर. सो हियर SnO2 dissolves in NaOH forming Na2SnO3. So this is the reaction between SnO2 and NaOH. ये फॉर्म होगा. ठीक है. SnO2 is adsorbed by SnO2 forming negatively charged colloidal solute. So यहाँ पे SnO2 SnO3 से क्या होगा, ये adsorb होगा, इसके surface पे adsorb होगा और surrounded by the Na plus ion, and that's why this will be what, negatively charged colloidal solution. So option, which option is correct here? A option. Okay, option A. Next, कोलाइडल सॉल्यूशन के बारे में फिर से ये प्रॉब्लम हम लोगों ने ऑलरेडी सॉल्व किया है. AgI I- कोलाइडल सॉल्यूशन कैन बी कोएगुलेटेड बाय द एडिशन ऑफ सुटेबल कटाइन. When 1 mole requires 1 mole of AgNO3 this much and this much adds. Okay, 1 mole of AgI I- requires mole of AgNO3, PbNO3 और FeNO3 कितने लगेंगे हम लोगों को. तो देखो नेगेटिवली चार्ज सोल्ट जो है हमारा कोलाइडल सॉल्यूशन, ये फॉर्म हो रहा है जब हमारा AgNO3 रिएक्ट हो रहा है किसके साथ, प्रेसिपिटेट हो रहा है किसके साथ, AgI के साथ एंड एक्स्ट्रा KI के साथ. ये रिएक्शन हम लोगों ने ऑलरेडी देखी. Ag plus plus I minus gives AgI and AgI then get adsorb on I minus and forms this type of salt, negatively charged colloidal salt. If we have the concentration of AgI lesser as compared to I minus, then what is going to form? So 3 moles दिए हुए हैं, ठीक है, और ये 1 मोल दिया हुआ है, तो उसके साथ से क्या फॉर्म होगा, 3 moles of AgI and 1 mole of FeI3. If 1 mole is given, ठीक है, 1 mole of AgI I minus, यहाँ पे देखिए 1 mole दिया हुआ है, तो उसके लिए कितने मोल्स लगेंगे Fe के, 1/3 moles. So 1 mole of AgI minus is coagulated by addition of 1 mole of AgNO3 or half mole of PbNO3 twice or 1/3 mole of FeNO3, right? Next, 15 ml of 1 molar oxalic acid is shaken with 0.5 gram wood charcoal. The final concentration of the solution after adsorption is 0.5. What is the amount of oxalic acid adsorbed per gram of carbon? So this is what we need to find out, how much amount of oxalic acid has been adsorbed by gram of carbon, that is charcoal. ओके यहाँ पे हम लोगों को कितना दिया हुआ था सोल्यूशन, 50 ml का ऑक्सैलिक एसिड दिया हुआ था. कितना दिया है, 50 ml ऑफ ऑक्सैलिक एसिड 1 मोलर. सो कितने मिलीमोल्स हो गए, 50 मिलीमोल्स हो गए. ठीक है, 50 मिलीमोल्स को कन्वर्ट किया मैंने मोल्स में, तो मुझे मिल गए इतने ग्राम्स. मल्टीप्लाई किया उसको उसके मॉलिक्यूलर वेट से, ठीक है, COOH टू ऑक्सैलिक एसिड से मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया, तो 50 ml 0.5 मोलर ऑक्सैलिक एसिड में कितने ग्राम्स मिल रहे हैं मुझे, 3.15 ग्राम मिल रहे हैं. 0.5 मोलर सोल्यूशन होगा तो 1 मोलर सोल्यूशन में कितने होंगे, 6.3 ग्राम. सो ऑक्सैलिक एसिड एडसॉर्ब ऑन 0.5 ग्राम चारकोल विल बी 6.3 में से इतने ग्राम मैंने माइनस कर दिया, तो मुझे कितने ग्राम मिलेंगे, एडसॉर्ब कितने होंगे, 3.15 ग्राम. तो जितने एडसॉर्ब हुए हैं उनको मैं क्या करूंगी, 0.5 मोलर जो सोल्यूशन है हमारा उससे डिवाइड करेंगे. व्हाट यू आर गोइंग टू गेट 6.3 ग्राम अगेन. तो ऑप्शन बी इज करेक्ट आंसर हियर. Next, the gold number of gelatin, hemoglobin and sodium acetate is, this is very, very important question. Very, very important. What is the gold number for gelatin, hemoglobin and sodium acetate? These are what? 0.005, 0.05 and 0.07. The protective anions, sorry, the protective actions will be in the order. So protective जो action है हमारी वो कैसी होगी, गोल्ड नंबर अगर ज्यादा होगा तो ज्यादा होगी, अगर ज्यादा होगा तो कम होगी, कैसे प्रकार की होगी. So the protective power and gold number are what? Inversely related. Okay, they are what? Inversely related. This is very, very important. Protective power is inversely related to gold number. So order of protective power will be what? Gelatin, then hemoglobin and then sodium acetate. So that is which option? Option number B, gelatin, then hemoglobin, then sodium acetate. Very, very important. Okay, next. The volume of colloidal particle is Vc as compared to the volume of solid particle in a true solution Vs. Could be. Okay, so here we need to find out what is the relation between Vc and Vs. So size of colloidal particles is around in which range? 1 to 1000 nanometer. It is in range of 1 to 1000 nanometer. Okay, our colloidal particles ranges in this way. So Vc is what? 4/3 pi r cube. We know the volume. Okay, 4/3 pi r cube volume for colloidal solution will be pi r cube. तो R की वैल्यू कितनी होगी, रेडियस कितनी लिखे मैंने यहाँ पे 10, ठीक है, 10 raised to 3. Size of true solution particles is around 1 nanometer. Okay, 1 nanometer है, तो 1 मैंने यहाँ पे पुट किया. So क्या होगा relation true solution के with respect to what colloidal solution? The ratio is what? 10 raised to 3. Okay, so answer is what here? We see that is volume of colloidal particle with the volume of solute particle in a true solution will be 10 raised to 3. So any doubts in this? Yes. So that's it for today's lecture. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Yes. Yes, everyone? Any doubts? Okay, so we will meet tomorrow at the same time. Okay, thank you so much for joining this session. If you have any doubts, if you want any topic to revise again, you can share that with me. Okay,